And you may
All right,
begin.
fantastic. John, are you ready? Are you
Let's
ready?
go, Melissa. Let's go. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Melissa or Mel Davis with the digital publication and blog Moments with Mel.
Mhm.
And our space is to really bring forth creative voices, self-expression, and of course, news about really cool things in entertainment, such as Brilliant Minds. So I had a chance to sort of look you up, but I'm familiar with P-Valley. I've seen you on there.
Oh, bet, bet. That's what's up.
I am personally a fan, but I am impressed with your experience.
Mm.
So you've been on P-Valley. You've
Hmm.
been on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which is another favorite of my own. Luke Cage,
Hmm.
911 Lone Star,
Hmm.
Hawaii Five-O.
Hmm.
You've acted even in theater as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So with all that experience, what attracted you to audition for Dr. Anthony Thorne, who is a different type of character?
He is a different kind of character, different type of character. Um, Honestly, Thorn came through because my agents are wonderful and they got me the audition. And so I give a lot of credit to them. But the reason that I feel connected to Dr. Thorne is that he's a black man in a very high powered position, as a running the emergency department. Also, when I watched Brilliant Minds, it's a medical drama, but it's not just a medical drama. Michael Grassi and the creative team, they're doing something that is really specific. They're making it cinematic and interesting. And I thought that because it's a medical drama, I could get ahead of it and figure out what was going to happen. I think we've seen a lot of them, right?
It's
But
quite
when
empathic, right? Brilliant Minds. Like I
absolutely.
feel like your character as well as the main doctors that Zachary Quinto plays and even
Mhm.
everybody else, even in season two, it's like this, you guys have heart and soul in everything you're doing.
Oh, I really appreciate you saying that because it feels that way on set when we're making it. It's one
Mhm.
of the first things I noticed, even on the Zoom, because I did my test on Zoom with Zachary and with Tamara, Michael, and Harry, who directed the first episode. And it felt like there was such heart and soul in the Zoom room. And that translated to the first table read when everyone was together. And that translated even to us shooting the show, and it remains part of the show. I think it's what makes it experientially and making it is what makes it very singular. And I think that it also translates to the audience. The audience can feel that. Like Michael, showrunner and the creator, is, you said, empathetic. And I think that's really key. Um, every character that he creates and that they create in the writer's room, every storyline is based on real events, real
Yep.
people, real stories, right? So he is honoring them. He's honoring these real stories and honoring these frontline workers, whose lives we don't really get to see all that often.
It definitely translates on screen as well. So that segued into our next question, right? So there was in episode 208, which hasn't aired yet, so I don't want to
Mhm.
spoil it. There was a moment where sort of Dr. Thorne was like in a tag me in energy with Dr. Wolf. You
Mm.
sort of referred someone to him and you had that compassion. While you can lead, you also went to your peer and you recommended a patient to him. I
Mhm.
won't say too much. And so, what can you tell me about Dr. Anthony Thorne this season? Like, who is he? What can we see?
I think that when you meet Anthony Thorne, you think you have him figured out. He's a little acerbic, he's a little harsh, but he has a way of caring, and his way of caring is to help his patients, and he doesn't want to waste time because in the emergency department, one of the big things is just stabilizing your patients, and so it is very different from someone who is with the neuro department, like with what Dr. Wolf is doing, which is a specialist. Once they're stabilized, then they can be helped there.
Yeah.
But his job is to get them stable. And that means that he doesn't have time for a lot of the pleasantries and a lot of the hand holding and stuff like that, which is why in 208, that moment you mentioned is so powerful, was powerful for me to read it, because it's this beginning of respect, this
Yeah,
like
it was definitely
this.
powerful for me to see it as the viewer. I
Yeah.
felt, I didn't actually know that they weren't a team. They felt like
Mm,
a team, even though you sort of like, maneuver in a space where one person starts here, then the next person goes or is recommended to a specialist. It felt like you were a part of a team, the way your character spoke about him, the way you portrayed it. Um,
Mm,
Definitely, I see that in medical dramas, especially in Brilliant Minds, there seems to be a sort of a community amongst doctors, even though you do many different things. What
mhm.
can we expect this season with this community of doctors that's different than season one?
I mean, the drama, just the drama is on another level this season. Inside of the community, yes, there's everything that's going on with the patients that come in, but I think you'll see with every single character, they are going through massive changes. They're going through massive changes in their lives. And the patients that come in are challenging everyone and forcing them to show up in new ways, which bumps everybody differently, right? Which I think is what's so beautiful about what Michael and the team has orchestrated. Like when you have these characters, each of them growing and evolving in their own way, and as they evolve, their evolution bumps against other people in a way that's organic and earned and honest. I think you're going to see a lot of that this season. Plus, I think one of the big things about the first season is that I laughed as well.
Mhm.
There's this energy, there's this banter that exists, and I think you'll also see an extension of that. It'll deepen, you know. And there's some new characters, including myself. There's Brian, there's Al, and there's just this new energy that's been infused with these other characters that bumps people differently, right? But shows us new shades, new colors of the doctors we think we know, which is great.
Now, in most medical dramas, and I didn't see this in season one too much, but season two kind of gets into this outside of treating patients and outside of deciding the care. Do we get to see Dr. Anthony Thorne's personal life? Do we get to see who he is a bit in this season?
Yo, we are in the middle of shooting this season. I think we get hints about Anthony Thorne's personal life. You know, we've had hints of it throughout the season about his divorce, about the kids and stuff like that. And I'm hopeful that we'll see more of those things fleshed out as time goes along. I'm not going to lean this way or that way because honestly I'm excited to see what comes down the pike because the team, Michael and the team, they have a really great finger on the pulse of what to do next, what is earned, right? Because you don't, I think one of the big things is you don't want to open the gates too soon. You want to let there be room to grow, right? Room to grow and to understand and room to be surprised. And so I think that the way that they've crafted Thorn so far, there's so much that we don't know, which means that there's so much possible, a lot of room for surprise. So I'm excited.
So speaking of surprise, another nudge to my next question.
Yeah.
What spoilers can you give us about season two or the fans for Brilliant Minds? If
Uh-huh.
you could share anything, what would be something you could share?
Um, Look, I am not I'm not the spoiler guy. You're not gonna get me. And you ain't gonna get it from me. If it's gonna come from somewhere, it's not gonna come
Okay.
from me. But what I will say is, at the center of this show and all of the relationships is love, right? And I think one of the things that keeps people coming back is that there's such a between in all of the relationships, but there are these specific kind of romantic relationships that we're interested in as well. And all of those relationships are going through their own thing. And trust me, if you think you know where they're going, you don't. That's what I'll give you. If you think you know where they're going, you don't. So be excited because they're doing something really special. Yeah.
So be excited, expect the unexpected,
Yeah.
expect teamwork,
Hmm.
expect to see more of Dr. Anthony Thorne this season amongst
Hmm.
the rest of the cast. So
Hmm.
thank you for sharing a moment with me. That's all my questions. But I'm excited to see how the rest of the season develops, and I hope the fans love it too.
The show. Thank you so much, Mel. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.